Hello and welcome to Ben Levin Music School. So many people want to sing, but hate the way their voice sounds. I'm going to share some tips to help you get past that feeling. Tip 1, the zoom method. A big part of why we hate the way our voices sound is because they sound different in our heads than they do on a recording. It can be so discouraging and disorienting to hear your voice played back and have it sound not quite the way you expected, and usually for the worse. We need to get used to hearing the voice in our head and then hearing it played back on a recording over and over so that we can sort of hear how it's going to sound on a recording when we're hearing it in our head. In order to bridge that gap, let's use the Zoom app. Open Zoom and start a new meeting just for yourself. It'll say join with computer audio, check speaker and microphone. Click check speaker and microphone and you'll hear a bing bong. And that's the speaker test. You hit yes, I hear the bing bong. And then we're at the microphone test, and this is where we're going to practice. Anything you say or sing now will be played back to you immediately for you to check the quality of the microphone. But what we're going to do is check the character of our voices. Hello, I'm here. Hello, I'm here. I'm going to get better at singing. I'm going to get better at singing. La la la. La la la, la la la, la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Just listen to how your voice has changed when it's filtered through Zoom. Is it thinner than you expected? Maybe a little bit more nasally? What is the difference? 15 minutes can feel like an eternity doing this, but it's worth it because you're training your mind to sort of hear the way that the recording will sound while you're actually singing. Tip 2, focus on tone rather than intonation. Everyone wants to sing in tune, but specifically practicing singing in tune doesn't always result in singing very well. We can get super self-conscious when we're doing this. If you're performing and thinking about intonation too much, you're not going to really be singing to people. You're going to be making sounds with your mouth that are either correct or incorrect. Let's focus more on tone. How can you change and develop the tone of your voice? For instance, take your finger and touch your neck right here. You'll feel a little bump. If you say something like Patrick the Starfish, like, "Hey SpongeBob," you'll feel that bump go down. "Hey SpongeBob." Notice it going down. "Hey SpongeBob." Now if you talk like SpongeBob, you'll notice it'll go up. "Hey Patrick, how's it going?" "Hey SpongeBob." "Hey Patrick." "Hey Patrick." "Hey SpongeBob." It goes up and down when you do that. That thing that's moving up and down, that's called your larynx. And when you lower your larynx, you sound more like Patrick. And when you raise your larynx, guess what? You sound more like SpongeBob. That's an example of how you can change your tone. Try putting your finger on your neck again and see if you can find a way to sing without your larynx moving. Another way you can explore tone is by checking out where certain notes vibrate in your head. For instance, if you hum, but you use the letter N instead, it'll tickle your nose. You feel that vibrating in your nose? Now go hoo, hoo, like an owl. Hoo. Do you feel that vibrating maybe in the back of your head and in your ears? Hoo, 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 hoo. In the top of your head? Those different vibrating areas are points of resonance in your voice. Let's do a vocal exercise where we take the hoo and the and mix them together. Hoon, 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 hoon. Another way that we can work on tone is by working on breath. Go shh for as long as you can. When you inhale again, you'll probably feel your tummy go out, and that's a nice way to breathe. So go shh until you run out of air, inhale, and then sing a note, just one note, for as long as you can. Holding out long tones like this helps you with your breath support, and it also helps you keep notes more steady and even, so they're not going sharper or flatter. So actually, this is a good way to work on intonation by focusing on breath, sustain, and endurance. Tip number 3, be silly. If people overhear you practicing singing, they should think that it's really weird or very funny or disturbing. That's because the act of testing out your voice and working on all the aspects of singing means going and trying extreme things. Like, for instance, I've been working on my vocal fry, and I try to find resonant points in my vocal fry, which sounds kind of like this. That could be disturbing for a neighbor to overhear. But it's actually very important for you to find a space where you feel free to practice sounds like these. It's not just important for you, by the way, it's important for me, it's important for all of us. Because we have this horrible psychological wound from talent shows like American Idol, where you just see masses of people listening to singers and being like, oh, you know, Clay Aiken was a little pitchy. I don't know, I prefer this singer, I prefer that singer. Singing becomes about geniuses and losers. The thing is that you're not a genius and you're not a loser. You're somebody who sounds like you, and that's incredibly valuable. In fact, the more you sound like you, the more interesting your voice will be. If you can't practice being silly in your home, maybe you can go to your car, or maybe you know somebody who has a room that you could use where it's quiet, maybe at a school, maybe in a big wide open field, in a parking lot. Find this space for yourself. We need singing to be expressive and fun, and not just another way that we objectify ourselves and put ourselves into categories of good singer, bad singer. One time I sang so silly and so free that I saw the gentle bird who tells time's secrets, and she called me Hand. I laughed and said, "My name is Ben, not Hand." She laughed back at me, and we just both laughed for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Please sign up for lessons with me.